What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Exploring Attractions. My name is Scott, and you're watching your stop for all things theme park and attraction related. Now, I know Exploring Attractions sounds kind of weird, but I'm really trying to transition it into that name, more so leaning away from SoCal Exploring, because I want to, like I've told you guys before, I want to expand and grow other than just Southern California, even though that will still be my main content that I put out on this channel on a weekly basis. Anyways, with that, before we get into the juicy stuff, we just dropped a new collection with a brand new design. That's right, everybody, new year means a new look with the Exploring Attractions classic colors that we got on our TeePublic site. We got t-shirts, stickers, all of that, and we also got a spooky season one that has kind of like a red ombre colors on it. And if you want to purchase that merchandise, it really does help out the channel a whole lot. I'll leave that link down below in the description to check out that full collection. Anyways, everybody, alas, an HHN video, right? I didn't even think I'd be making one this early, but one of my good friends, Tony, put on his social media his HHN 2022 wish list. And I was like, you know what? I thought, why don't I make a wish list or something that I think that could realistically be the lineup this year and also have a little bit of like what I would like to see this year. So that's exactly what I did. So I give you guys my first Halloween Horror Nights 2022 speculation of the year. With, of course, these speculation videos, these are all just coming from my thoughts. There's nothing telling me that this stuff is official, confirmed, or anything like that. This is all just coming from the top of my head and my speculation. So I've put together a full lineup of mazes, and I'm going to be explaining each one and why I think it would fit perfectly with this year's event, and why I just wanted to come to the event as an in real life horror experience. I have a total of 8 mazes listed on this lineup, and that's not me saying that I think there's going to be 8 mazes, because I think I'll stick to 7. This is just me having kind of like a backup property is what I'm trying to do here. Alright, but first and foremost, we have Gremlins. Now, Gremlins has been in talks for a while now as far as the community goes, and people speculating on the potential of Gremlins becoming a maze at Halloween Horror Nights, and it's never actually happened. We've seen what they can pull off before on stuff that people have said, oh, that would not work because that's more of a family-friendly movie or a comedy movie like with Ghostbusters, but obviously we saw that they're able to tackle Ghostbusters very well. Now, I think Gremlins is a maze that's just hopeful that will never actually appear at the event. Hopefully, knock on wood. I don't want to say it never will because you never say never, right? I think that Gremlins does have a strong possibility, but I just don't think it's one of those ones that Murdy or anyone in the Universal team as far as Orlando goes and Hollywood goes is like, yeah, let's do a Gremlins maze right away because that's what all the fans want. I just think that there is some content there that they could work with to put together a maze, like I said, like Ghostbusters and other mazes that we've seen before, and movies that aren't so, themed as horror on specific. Because after all, those Gremlins are pretty cute, you're not gonna lie, until they, of course, transform and turn into Demon One. Alright, next up is one that I think that everyone can agree has the highest chance of becoming a maze this year, and that is, of course, Scream, the classic movie though, not the remake that's set to come out next week. This is the classic Scream. Now, like I said, there is a brand new reboot coming out next week, January 14th. I don't know if I get this video out before that. I would like to hope I did, but it is coming out on January 14th. And that Ghostface movie is going to be awesome. I can't wait to go see it in theaters, but I don't think that they would put that in a maze this year. I think that they'd go and target the classic one. But the big reason that I'm saying Scream could be a maze this year is because it'd be the perfect promotional push for the movie. And not to mention, around the Halloween time is probably when they'd have the Scream release on DVD and on other digital platforms, so it'd be perfect to, cross-market this. There are so many iconic scenes in the classic Scream movie, Scream 1 that is. There's plenty of kills, and obviously the scare aspect is there. We've had Scream in the past at HHN in different experiences, and I would love to see Ghostface make his return to Hollywood. Alright, next up is one that we just, I don't know where this stands. I don't know where this property stands. I don't know how Universal stands with Warner Brothers on it, but of course Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice, I think, should 10 out of 10 be a maze experience this year, and because Orlando got theirs, and Orlando, not to mention, got it technically 2 years. Okay, I won't say that. They got it for like 2 days in 2020. But still, die-hard fans got to experience it in 2 different years is what I'm trying to say. Beetlejuice wasn't here at Hollywood last year, and that was really unfortunate, even though all of the community thought that we were going to be getting a Beetlejuice maze, and it only makes sense to have the Ghost with the Most appear at this year's event in 2022. But like I said, there is that question on where Universal and Warner Brothers stands on Beetlejuice making his return. Alright, next up is one that's kind of a controversial topic with us Hollywood fans. That is, of course, either Halloween Kills, Halloween 2018, or please, dear Lord, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. If you guys don't remember, or if you haven't been following the event since last year construction started on the Halloween maze, which we later found out was Halloween 4 in the 2021 event. Will look like we're gonna get the Silver Shamrock featured in the maze here, and I mean the Silver Shamrock Factory, which later confirmed that that was gonna be Halloween 3 Season of the Witch with the facade. But then all of a sudden Universal started to change the facade into the gas station that we saw in 2021, which was of course the Halloween 4 maze, the return of Michael Myers. Now, I do think that Michael Myers will come back once again to the event, but the question is, in what fashion? Will it be the Halloween 2018 Halloween Kills, which is a recent movie that just got released, or will we finally see Halloween 3 Season of the Witch? Honestly, I'll be fine with either of the three, but I personally would love to see Halloween 3. I think that we need that in a maze. Everybody's been asking for it, so please let us all cross our fingers. And of course, there's got to be some type of cameo of Michael Myers in that movie, even though he doesn't play a big role. He actually doesn't play any role at all, but there are Easter eggs of him in that movie, so I'm sure we'd see him pop out at least once throughout that maze. Next one I want to talk about is Candyman, the original. There was a new movie that released last year, the brand new reboot of Candyman, and I think that movie was absolutely phenomenal. But the question is, will we ever see Candyman come to Halloween Horror Nights? Another movie that I think the community is kind of iffy on whether or not it'd be scary, whether or not they have enough content. But if you go back and watch a classic movie and you kind of analyze it to see how it would fit in a Halloween Horror Nights type of experience, you can really tell that, yeah, this would make a perfect maze. And I definitely think that they should capitalize on the success of the recent movie and bring the classic Candyman movie to life in a horror experience. Alright, one that I think will be Universal's marketing bank this year. And when I say that, I mean like last year they of course had The Haunting of Hill House / Exorcist that were big known names that always had long lines regardless of if anyone knew the mazes were good or not. They always had long lines. The year prior to that was of course Stranger Things, and of course the year before that was Stranger Things as well, and they really pushed those properties out and market them to the general public. Well, I think that year this property will be Fear Street. Fear Street was wildly popular last year. There's 3 different parts to it, which are all very good parts, and you can actually go watch them on Netflix right now. Universal has worked with Netflix in the past before on many different properties, and I think it'd only be right for them to work with Netflix on bringing a Fear Street experience to this year's Halloween Horror Nights. I don't really have much to say on that one as far as what I could see it being or like why I want it to come to the event, but I think that it's just obvious with Netflix and that being their brand new, horror spectacular. Alright everybody, moving on to the one that I would be most excited to walk through. We've seen Murdy bring the Universal Classic Monsters to the event every single year since bringing that beautiful Universal Monsters maze in 2018, and we've seen him step it up year after year after year. So much so that I can honestly say I think the Bride of Frankenstein Lives in 2021 topped Universal Monsters in 2018. And I may get backlash for that, but that's just my personal opinion. That maze was hands down freaking amazing. So I'm gonna say the same thing that I say every year in regard to the Universal Monsters that Orlando has actually gotten to experience, but we here in Hollywood have not. And that of course is Gilman, the creature from the Black Lagoon. We need a creature from the Black Lagoon representation at HHN. Whether that be a maze this year, his own standalone maze, which could be awesome, or it be in a feature of some different Universal monster. I don't know really what you'd pair him with, but we need to see him featured in the Universal Monsters maze this year, whatever that maze may be. And last but not least, we have an original maze, and I'm not talking about the Curse of Pandora's Box 3, I'm just talking about an original maze that they can take probably from one of their scare zones. We've seen them do it before with Holidays in Hell. I think that there's a couple of different mazes that they could put into an actual maze and make it a whole story and make it a whole experience. One being Spirits and Demons from the East. I think that'd work really, really well. All Hallows Eve, obviously that was a rumor when 2020 was still in talks about an event happening that year. There's different scare zones like that that could work very well. And you know, Murdy and the whole creative team do really good at their original mazes in Hollywood, and obviously Orlando's got their thing going with original mazes, or original houses I should say. That's their big thing. So why doesn't Hollywood continue the trend of bringing these original mazes to life? To wrap up the video, here's my full lineup that I wish / think could, at least a couple of these, I want to say at least 4 of these, have a very, very high chance of being a part of the lineup this year for 2022. I didn't put Tram on there because I think that we're not going to get Tram this year, only because I'm pretty sure they're going to demolish that zone very, very soon. You guys have seen the construction. They already demolished Whoville, and they're already demolishing other parts of the studio to make way for more studio renovations. So yeah, I just don't really see them bringing back Tram, but I could be wrong, as I have been in years prior with that experience. If there is a Tram this year, I just want to flat out say I think it'll probably be Chucky because of the new series. Or it could be Scream again. That would be awesome. Anyways, everybody, my name is Scott, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, our first ever HHN 2022 speculation of the year. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe down below with those bell notifications on. Leave this video a like because that helps out the channel a whole lot, and make sure to check out that merch. Like I said, link in bio with the brand new Exploring Attractions design that we got going on. Y'all have been watching Exploring Attractions. Positivity is key, and most importantly, remember to keep exploring. Peace out, everybody.